była geneza powstania utworu Dust in the Wind?
Może ktoś przetłumaczy z Państwa?
What's the history behind creating Dust in the Wind?
I'll take that one. Because Kerry has told me how he created the song. The actual music of it was simply an exercise that he did every day to practice his Travis picking. It's a style of picking where you use your thumb and your fingers to play a separate melody and a background with your thumb. And his wife overheard him playing that and said, "That would be a great song." And he said, "You're kidding, this is a finger exercise." He said, "No, it would be a really good song." And so at the time he was reading a book about American Indians, and then there was a phrase that caught his eye, so for all we are is dust in the wind. So he incorporated that into the song. It was just by pure accident. When they got together to record the album, they needed one more song to fill out the album. And Kerry was reluctant in bringing the song to the band because he thought it was too depressing. And they finally drug him out of it, and everybody, as soon as he played it, they knew it was going to be a hit record. And so it was purely by accident.
And the rest is history.
And a career maker for the band.
I'd like to ask about the 80s, because that decade, 80s, that decade was quite controversial in rock music in general in terms of both image and music. And what are your recollections? What is your attitude towards your music created in the 80s? Because most bands, most experienced bands kind of disregard what they did in the 80s because they are quite ashamed of the sound.
Our recollection of our music was that it was underrated and was
Underheard.
basically ignored because there was no market, no outlet for by radio or any other source. Grunge and disco and other genres of music had taken over the airwaves, and so we just kind of cast aside. And in the late 80s and that's in the early 90s, that's when we started our tour of submarine bus duty, if you will. That's when we just started going around playing these smaller venues, smaller clubs, just to try to stay afloat and try to keep our careers going.
I have one question about the brand new member. Where was the idea from, and what was the clue to choose brand new member and lead singer? No, I mean lead singer.
Oh, in the future, you mean?
Yep.
Well, Steve has announced his retirement. And while it is not a joyous day by any means, anytime someone decides it's time to quit, it's a sad moment. But the one thing I've never done is quit. I don't quit. When I'm dead, I'll be done. So we go on, and that's what we will do. And so, since Steve is leaving, either we retire and get old really fast, or we need to find a singer. And so we started listening. Ronnie, the new singer, I had seen him perform with another band and had met him a few times. And so we just started researching. We needed to move fairly quickly and met with him, spoke with him, and he has all the qualifications. Great guy, great singer, great keyboard player. So we didn't want to deliberate for a year about this. This is what I do. I get in a plane, train, bus, car, and I go play. And if too much off time makes Rich a very naughty boy. I need this. This is what I love to do. It's the love of my life, and it keeps me busy, keeps me out of trouble. And so if it's inevitable, let's move onward and get it done. And so that's really what happened. We have to, so let's do it.
Thank you very much.
I've got a question related with this about the future. And from time to time, you release albums like your solo project, like Seventh Key, or solo stuff, or playing the guest musician on the so-called progressive rock artist as Dave plays violin. Do you consider in the future releasing new Kansas music on the album?
Yes, we do, because that's one thing that Steve had had kind of decided that he didn't want to record anymore. You know, he just didn't want to go through the process of writing. It can be a very stressful and tedious process, and he decided that he didn't want to do that anymore. So we had kind of stopped the recording process, or even thoughts of going into the studio and making new music. Thus, several years ago, the four of us, Phil included, Steve not included, we did an album called Native Window. That's just because we still wanted to record and create. And so with this, the addition of Ronnie on vocals, we hope to be able to create some new music.
And it's a different world now. We don't have to make an album. We can go in, we can just go to rehearsal hall, record, you work something up, take it, mix it, and just release a song. Release